Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Arjun Talks to Grads. So today's episode is somewhat kind of like a special episode where Arjun speaks to Arjun himself. So, hey Arjun, how are you doing today?
Hey there, I'm doing good. I hope you are doing well too.
Well, we did hear that you getting nominated for Abu Dhabi University's undergraduate research competition. So, how excited are you?
So I'm really excited and thank you so much for bringing this up. So yes, it is a great thing launching Arjun Speaks to Grads in 2020 and was inspired due to COVID-19 pandemic. And it's been growing from strength to strength. We've been prototyping different ways of creating a podcast, whereas podcasts are a new piece of technology to this part of the world. And its growing popularity is just something which I wanted to test my equipments and see what equipment would be needed to make quality podcasts and whether to see whether we could may produce content which is monetizable.
That sounds really interesting. So, where did the idea actually come up, or like how did it form?
Well, it's good that you asked me, Arjun, because literally we were in lockdown. We were stopped to go out anywhere. And I realized a lot of friends, family, younger brothers and sisters who were busy trying to pick universities as international travel was down, so we were limited to the universities available locally. And it was online education as well. So parents were like, these guys, my friends, my family were all complaining, saying that, oh, they cannot go to the university and see how the university looks like before enrolling themselves there. So I had this great idea in my mind, thinking like, okay, why not we have testimonials from the existing students who have already been there? So I thought that would be great because at the end of the day, word of mouth counts a lot. And we already had this podcasting thing already activated with my class and my professor. And I decided to create my own show label. And it started from there and got pretty good response and a pretty massive popularity, to be honest.
Whoa, that sounds like a really great idea. Well done. So, how well does this fit into the research background?
So in terms of research, podcasting is a relatively new technology or a relatively new concept, and it's been growing in this particular region for the last few years. In my first year, I attended the Middle East Podcast Forum. It was the very first podcast forum, and at that time they were explaining about podcasts. As in 3 years ago, they were talking about how podcasts are emerging in this part of the world, but they were growing at a rather quicker pace. So I thought this was a very under-researched topic, and I would like to do my focus on that. So this particular project even is part of my third-year entrepreneurship program. So it is anyways part of my course. So that's why I chose to do it.
So, what is the research in all about? So, what is it?
So in terms of research, there are two researches in this particular project. One we did was a research which involved a period of planning, acting, reflecting, and refining. And it's based on this theory which has been proposed by Chemis and McTodd in 1998, in Neil 2017. So we did this exercise 6 times and had support from my colleagues in my class and my faculty in the university. And we refined it, we tested different technologies, different equipment, different softwares based on what we had available at our disposal during the time of COVID.
Oh, that's great. So, what type of equipment and stuff do you guys use for this particular podcast?
So for starters, I did use my laptop as my recording outlet. Couple of months later, I got my own external cardioid microphone, and then we started using softwares which university. So after university, we thought of searching for other alternatives because university was the one who was giving off software, like it was an Adobe Audition. And outside university, we were having no option, so we were testing out with Logic Pro X and GarageBand, Audacity, like that, different softwares we were trying out. And we even tried sound effects on on certain of our episodes. We got training from Middlesex London, from Audio Labs, and I was able to refine and develop the podcast ultimately. Then we produced an amazing episode, which I got a chance to present it in front of the Vice Chancellor of Middlesex University in London, Dubai, and Mauritius earlier this year.
Wow, that is spectacular. Anything else you want to add upon to that? Because you told you like 2 methods.
So the second part, which I was talking about, so that's basically a survey, a quality survey which we did. I know how the technology works, but I want to prove that what works because of the customer feedback. Hence, I identified a survey similarly done, and I adapted that to the research and distributed it. And it also gave me some reasonable results where I am excelling and somewhere I need to do some work.
Well, that sounds really amazing, and it's awesome that you did all these things. So, what are the next steps you have planned for the future of Arjun Talks to Grads?
So, in terms of what's next for Arjun Talks to Grads, it's a really good question. So, the feedback we are seeing from various places, including Canon ActorChef, which is basically an entrepreneurial competition which has been done by Canon, which I am a finalist. And yes, the project got nominated in Abu Dhabi University's research competition. And so we're waiting for results for that. And I did receive some nice training from the Sharjah Media Studies, Shams, to their podcasting bootcamp, where I was gaining knowledge on how can I improve my podcast in terms of content and marketing. And people are interested in this, and I see a good scope of making this into a business idea where I'll market interviews for universities to promote themselves to future candidates.
Well, that's a lot of things what you have did. So before we wind up the show, do you have any final words you would want to say?
Well, as last words, I'm very grateful to my friends, my faculty, my incongruent team, everyone. So yeah, that's basically as an end note I would want to say.
Well, there we have another episode of Arjun Speaks to Grads. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our podcast, and please do rate our podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Till then, see you guys soon.